The recently released WAEC examinations results further confirm the decadence in the nation's education sector. What can be done to revive the sector that was once the pride of the nation? My guest is the Minister of Education. Hello there, glad to have you join us on the program this week. I'm Gloria Umezuike. The last November-December General Certificate examination recorded about 70% failure, as it were, which perhaps indicates the poor state of education in the country. Well, this and many other challenges and questions begging for answers were among areas of focus in the interview I had with the Minister of Education, Malam Ibrahim Shekarau. But up ahead, a federal lawmaker who is the chairman of the House Committee on Education has asked for proper implementation of the professional qualifying examination to help halt the persistent failure in public examinations. The results of the 2014 West African Senior School Certificate Examination Council, WAEC, for November-December saddened many. Only 29.37% of candidates who sat for the examinations obtained credits in 5 subjects, including mathematics and English language. The nation has seen similar trends in the past, prompting several diagnoses into the mass failure. This has also raised a question about the quality of teachers. For this reason, some states introduced a controversial competency test some time ago. Addressing hundreds of them at this forum, the chairman, House Committee on Education, says the education system needs a tripartite solution.
The teaching profession used to be a dumping ground. No reference is given to qualification, to professionalism, to efficiency, to capacity of the people that have applied. I would suggest that there should be a general attitudinal change.
When people don't care how to make money, where to make money, if you do this, you make it, you eat it. If you don't, then the child there in the school will not be serious with his or her studies. These are all the factors responsible for students failing.
The Teachers Registration Council of Nigeria is determined to tackle the rot in the profession from all angles. Hence, the introduction of the professional qualifying examination to place teaching on the same pedestal with other professions.
The professional qualifying examination can reveal if a teacher is current or not.
Well, joining me now is the Minister of Education, Malam Ibrahim Shekarau, who tells me his strategies to help solve some of the challenges in the sector, especially in his remaining 6 months of service. Malam Ibrahim Shekarau, you're welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
Well, let's begin with this present administration and, the initial drive to start a modern Almajiri system. In your assessment, how much impact has this had so far?
The effort of government in bringing up the issue of the Almajiri education is in line with Mr. President's transformation agenda in education. That is basically to increase access and improve quality. And when you're talking of increasing access, you move towards increasing the opportunities for children that have not been in school to be in school. And we know up in the northern part of Nigeria, a great number of the children attending the Quranic schools are not attending school. And we want to make sure they are integrated into school. And since we know these are historical reasons that date into hundreds of years back, the government came up with the idea of let's reach out to them where they are. Within the Quranic school system, let's now try to modernize it, let us try to improve it, let's bring in the actual modern system of acquiring knowledge and imparting knowledge. And that was the idea of bringing in the schools that have been built all over the place, as many as about 127 of such schools.
But the initial target was how many?
Well, initially we're talking of about 400 to 500 across the northern part of Nigeria. And you know, when you're talking of school, it's not just the building. You have to have the students, you have to have the instructional materials, you have to have the teachers before you have what you call a school. And so government is taking it in phases. The schools you have so far, the children are there, they are sensitizing the teachers are gradually being brought on board as well. And you can't do this without taking the states along. So we're getting the states also to come along. Of course, great majority of the states are cooperating, with the exception of some few that we're trying to get them to appreciate the effort of the federal government.
So how many states haven't keyed in yet?
Maybe 4 or 5 states where the schools have been built. We're trying to really get them on board. Agreed, we're adding more to the responsibility of the schools, but it's a responsibility that is upon the shoulders of all of us. Education is on the concurrent list of the Constitution. The local government, the state government, the federal government, even the private sector, anybody can come into it. Federal government is not limited to just the tertiary level. We can intervene at the primary, at the secondary, and all the other levels. So
you say 127 schools already established?
Exactly.
But isn't that grossly far behind target?
It is. But you see, as I was saying, it's not just enough to have the buildings. If government wants, within 1 year you can have 1,000 schools open. But that doesn't give you a school. It's not just the building. It's not just getting the students into the classroom, the furniture and instructional materials. The key and the most important aspect of the school is the teacher. And you cannot overnight produce the teachers. We want to use the existing Quranic school teachers themselves. You cannot just pick them from one system and dump them into another system. It doesn't work that way. You have to really gradually bring them on board, let them understand. They are not used to the blackboard, desk and chair operation. The Quranic school, anybody that knows the system, they sit on the mats, they bring in the allo and they write and so on. So we are changing them into a new system. We are not disturbing the curriculum. The curriculum is being reviewed. Now they are going to sit in the classroom. They are using exercise books with a pen, with a blackboard, and so on. And these teachers are not used to that. So the other challenge now is sensitizing the teachers. A lot of training is going on.
How many teachers have undergone training?
Well, so far, it depends on the size of the schools. It varies from state to state. And we are at different level of the training. We are getting the school basic education, the state basic education boards to come on board, and we don't have the immediate statistics of the number of the teachers. We've given them the schools, the admissions were made along with them, and it's their responsibility now to make sure they liaise with the National Teachers Institute and with the various state basic education boards, liaising with the National Basic Education Commission. This is an ongoing thing. I must remind the general public that this is a project, the result and the total change of which we may not see in the next 10 years, 20 years, 50 years, because we are changing a system that had existed. The Quranic system had been there as old as Islam itself. In the communities. You're talking of about 800 to 1,000 years. And you are changing them to a system that is just about 100 years old.
Do you even